everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking all about the 4 new pigments that Wet n Wild has released for holiday 2016. Bam! They look like this. These were $2.99 at Rite Aid and I am in love. You guys know, I love eyeshadow palettes, I love duochrome anything, and I love loose pigments. So when I saw these, I was like, yes please, get in my basket. Now, the first thing that you notice when you look at all 4 of these, does it look like I'm holding up a gang sign when I do this? I just realized this. I'm like trying to keep them from falling and it's like beauty for life. I don't even know. The first thing that you notice is they're all incredibly similar. This one right here is a little bit lighter, but the other 3 are super similar. They're so similar, in fact, that when I was looking at the display, I had to pick them up individually and look at the bottom at the shade names to make sure I wasn't buying any dupes. So I'm not quite sure why they did it that way. I'm not sure why they're all... And now my nose is running. Moving on. I'm not sure why they're all so similar, kind of a pain in the butt. I wish there was one that was kind of, you know, super unique or duochrome, but that was not to be. So we are going to start out with talking about the packaging, and we're going to be comparing them with the MAC pigments in terms of that, because they're similar but not identical. So this is what you get. You get this loose powder in a plastic jar. It looks super similar to a MAC jar, but if you look real closely, the MAC jars are slightly narrower at the bottom, wider at the top. They're tapered, whereas these are not. When you open up, or actually, let me show you too. This is an old style MAC pigment, so just for reference, it's taller and thinner. It's really not very similar to this at all. When you open up the cap, you get a little sifter mechanism. It's closed right now, but you can see it, right? So you then have to flip up the little dealy whacker, that's the technical term, of course, and you get a salt shaker. If you wanted to, you could try to pull this out. I haven't been that brave yet because I don't want to have a pigment explosion, but this is kind of annoying because in order to really get the product on your brush, you have to tap out a little bit into the cap anyway. Personally, what I would have preferred is if they had taken the MAC approach. If you're unfamiliar with how MAC does their pigments, let me learn you some knowledge. On the inside of a MAC pigment, you get a solid plastic insert, and you take the insert off, and there's always a little pigment stuck to it. See that? So you can usually use that. That's what I do, rather than dipping my brush into the open jar, because these are super concentrated, so you're going to be getting way more pigment than you're going to be able to handle. I understand why they did the sifter. They were trying to prevent you from using too much, but it almost prevents you from using the product in general, which is not really cool. So you're going to have to come up with some kind of ghetto rigging for this. I am probably just going to take tweezers and permanently remove the sifter. Who knows? Anything could happen. Let's talk about the colors. So this is Ride on My Lightning. This is the lightest of the 4 shades. It's kind of a pearly champagne color, universally flattering for all skin tones. Very nice. You could use this as a cheek highlighter. You could use it on your eyes, inner corner, brow bone, whatever you want to do. You could do it. Next up, we have Heart of Rose Gold, which is, I think, is maybe a Firefly reference, Heart of Gold. So this is, just like the name says, it's rose gold. It's very pretty. I have to say all of these shades really are universally flattering. They're very useful. They're not like holiday only. Red glitter, green glitter. I mean, you can use these anytime that you want. And this is a ton of pigment. You know that, right? If you've ever used these loose pigments, you know that this is pigment for life. Next up, we have Dom and Cherry on top, which is more of a beige, tan beige color. And then finally, we have Ride on My Copper, which, as the name implies, is a metallic kind of peachy coppery shade. This reminds me of MAC Melon pigment quite a lot. It seems to be more finely milled though, and it seems to have more of a copper tone and less of an orange or peach influence, but they are similar. So that's really all there is to say about these pigments. $2.99, you can't beat it. So if you're into that kind of thing, or if you just want to experiment, try some fun Wet n Wild makeup for $2.99, why not? At a certain point, it becomes a sin not to buy them. So I hope that you enjoyed this little sneak peek at the Wet n Wild holiday pigment collection. Wet n Wild, if you're listening, make more pigments, please. I will buy them. I love loose pigments. They're so flexible. You could even put them in clear nail polish if you want. You can really literally do anything with loose pigments. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would not mind giving this video a thumbs up, that would be a huge help to helping the channel grow. It really helps get us up in search results. So thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate every one of you who has done that. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, and if you're not already subscribed and you would like to be, the button's down there, or you can punch me in the face during the end card if you're nasty. And in the meantime, I will look forward to seeing you guys real soon in my next video. Bye!